It was a sunny morning, and Minnie Trump, a young hero with style, money, and the charm of someone who always knows what to do, decided to make a trip to the busiest supermarket in town. Sure, he could send his assistants to do the shopping, but he enjoyed observing people, watching the hustle, and maybe, just maybe, stumbling upon someone in need of a little heroism. With a gleaming gold watch on his wrist and an impeccable suit, Minnie Trump looked a bit out of place among the grocery aisles, but he felt perfectly at home, as if he had everything under control. While wandering down the cereal aisle, he noticed two suspicious figures lingering near the checkout counters, watching the cashiers a little too intently. With his keen businessman's eye, he could tell something was off. His instincts kicked in, and he thought, "Looks like we've got some troublemakers here." Adjusting his suit, he knew he had to act fast. After all, he couldn't let such an upstanding establishment be disturbed. Minnie Trump was always quick to think on his feet, but he never lost his cool. He scanned the aisles, forming a plan while keeping his composure intact. This supermarket was just another place for locals to shop, but to Minnie Trump, it was an opportunity, a chance to step up. He knew his reputation was at stake, and he wouldn't let anyone tarnish it. With careful, deliberate steps, Minnie Trump moved closer to the shelves near the suspects. He knew that as a wealthy, influential person, he had the power to make a difference, even in unexpected ways. And right now, he was determined to turn this supermarket into the perfect stage for a daring act of heroism. Minnie Trump slipped into the canned goods aisle, where he could keep an eye on the thieves without being noticed. He needed a clever plan, and one fitting of his intelligence and his wealth. For him, money wasn't just power. It was a way to create change. Grabbing a few items from the shelf, he started collecting anything that might help him distract and confuse the criminals. He recalled the skills he'd developed in high-stakes boardrooms and high-profile events, and knew he could use them now to his advantage. If they think they're getting away with this, they've got another thing coming, he muttered, a self-assured smile forming. His strategy was simple, but effective. He'd outwit the thieves, keeping his cool the entire time. After all, he was Minnie Trump, known for turning obstacles into opportunities. Walking calmly down the aisle, he adjusted his gold watch, feeling the familiar confidence that always guided him. He picked up a few packs of pasta and strategically placed them along the path where the thieves were likely to walk, creating a makeshift trap. Everything had to be perfect. He wouldn't settle for anything less. This wasn't just about protecting the supermarket, it was about keeping his style intact. As the suspects approached the registers, Minnie Trump knew the timing was just right. Taking a deep breath to steady himself, he knocked over the pasta boxes, creating a minor commotion that drew everyone's attention. With eyes now focused on him, his plan was already in motion. The store fell silent for a brief moment as the pasta spilled across the floor. The thieves, caught off guard, tried to ignore the distraction, but Minnie Trump wasn't about to let them continue. With a poised stance and a confident smile, he looked directly at them. "You picked the wrong place to cause trouble," he said, his voice loud enough for everyone to hear. Shoppers and employees stared in amazement at the stylish, wealthy man boldly confronting the criminals. With a quick move, he grabbed a can of soup and tossed it in the direction of the thieves, creating even more confusion. Think you're gonna get away with this? Not on my watch, he said, exuding the confidence only someone with his background could. The thieves, looking more disoriented than ever, hesitated, unsure of whether to proceed or flee. Minnie Trump knew he had to maintain control and keep the upper hand. The crowd started to cheer him on, phones recording his every move as people marveled at his courage and calm. "Isn't that Minnie Trump?" some whispered among themselves, captivated by the sight of such a refined hero standing up to criminals. For Minnie Trump, it was vital that he handled this gracefully, and he enjoyed the audience's admiration. When one of the thieves took a step forward, Minnie Trump raised a hand to stop him. "I said, you're not going anywhere," he declared with authority. With a firm look and an air of sophistication, he was ready for whatever came next. Surprised by Minnie Trump's fearless resistance, the thieves hesitated. One of them took a step forward, attempting to intimidate the young hero, but Minnie Trump held his ground with an impeccable stance and unwavering gaze. "You really think you can scare me? I deal with much bigger problems every day," he said, adjusting his watch with an unshakable calm that left the thieves second-guessing themselves. Minnie Trump understood how important it was to use his position to stay in control. He recalled the powerful speeches he'd given in crucial meetings and decided to channel that same confidence. This supermarket is a place where people come for peace. I'm not about to let two cowards ruin that, he declared, his voice echoing through the store as the customers watched in awe. Taking a step closer, Minnie Trump directly challenged the criminals. "You've got two choices: walk out on your own or be dragged out by me." He was betting on psychology, a tactic he'd mastered in the business world. Confidence and a composed demeanor were his strongest weapons, and he wielded them effortlessly. The thieves exchanged nervous glances, slowly realizing they were up against someone who wouldn't back down. Minnie Trump had created an atmosphere of respect and authority, making it clear that he was firmly in charge. Seeing that the thieves were hesitant, Minnie Trump decided it was time to outsmart them. He knew that his intelligence and resources were his best assets. Calmly, he walked over to the cooking oil aisle and discreetly poured some on the floor, creating a slippery path. "Let's see how they handle a little obstacle," he thought, grinning to himself. Money and strategy had always set him apart, and he was about to show exactly why. As the thieves continued advancing, Minnie Trump set up a few more traps in nearby aisles, placing fruit and cans strategically to trip them up. He knew the value of each tool he used, and he was determined to maximize their effect. "It's not just the money that gives me power," he thought. "It's my ability to adapt to any situation." When the thieves finally reached the traps, the chaos began. One of them slipped on the oil, almost falling, while the other stumbled over the pile of fruit, visibly frustrated. Customers and staff watched in a mix of shock and admiration. To them, it was as if they were witnessing a true hero in action, someone wealthy and brave who didn't hesitate to stand up for others. The effect of the traps was immediate. The thieves became increasingly disoriented and angry, baffled by the difficulty of what should have been a simple job. For Minnie Trump, victory was within reach. He not only had control of the situation, but had shown everyone how resourceful he could be. Minnie Trump, ever the picture of elegance, straightened his tie as he prepared for the final act. With the thieves cornered, he knew he was just a few steps away from neutralizing the threat completely. Watching the panic in their eyes, he felt a mixture of pride and satisfaction. Doesn't matter where I am, he thought. My job is to protect those in need, always with style. As the thieves grew more desperate, Minnie Trump moved confidently toward them, his voice loud and clear. Gentlemen, I suggest you give up before this gets even more embarrassing for you. His calm, commanding presence was almost intimidating. When one of the thieves tried to escape, Minnie Trump quickly intercepted him with remarkable agility. He knew people were watching, and he wouldn't let anything tarnish his image. I don't leave a job half done, he stated, holding his ground. To him, this was more than just safety. It was about honor. The crowd, now fully captivated by Minnie Trump's courage, began to clap and cheer. He had not only taken control, but shown everyone that wealth and bravery could go hand in hand. With the thieves finally subdued, the supermarket returned to normal, though customers wouldn't soon forget what they'd witnessed. Minnie Trump, calm and poised as always, was soon surrounded by people eager to express their admiration. "You were incredible," exclaimed an older woman, clutching her cart and smiling at him with sparkling eyes. To her, it was like seeing a hero in action. Minnie Trump accepted the praise with a gracious nod. "Just doing my part," he said with a charming smile. Internally, he knew the situation had been intense, but he remained calm and composed. His reputation as a wealthy, influential man was well preserved, and he enjoyed the admiration. Store employees were equally impressed. Some began snapping photos, and within minutes, Minnie Trump was all over social media. His brave act had earned even more respect from the community, something he valued deeply. As he left the supermarket, Minnie Trump knew he'd left a lasting impression. "Mission accomplished," he whispered, pleased with the day's work, as he walked toward his luxury car. After the incident, Minnie Trump barely had a moment to rest before the local media reached out. Reporters wanted every detail, and he quickly became the hero of the week. But to Minnie Trump, this was just another adventure. He always knew that new challenges were just around the corner. While scrolling through the news on his smartphone, he received a mysterious message, a warning that more trouble might be on the way. Instead of worry, he felt a surge of excitement. Adventure wasn't just an opportunity to show bravery, but a way to prove that wealth and confidence could conquer any obstacle. More challenges await, he thought, gazing out the window of his high-rise office as the city lights reflected off his watch. He knew the city needed someone like him, someone who could protect what mattered and bring hope to the people. And so, Minnie Trump prepared for the next challenge, ready to defend, protect, and conquer, always with style and a touch of flair.